and someone's got a chainsaw going. November bullet journal setup. End of. Howdy Space Cats, it's me Jules with my take on November. If you want to travel back in time to a November pre-COVID, then have a look at my November 2019 setup. It really is another world. It's definitely getting chillier in the UK, and I've noticed how lovely the night skies are at the moment. We've got Mars pretty close and it's looking rather lovely. So with that in mind, I thought this month's theme could be the night sky. If you've just stumbled across my channel, I make videos on drawing and self-publishing your books and bullet journal planning. Although this is my penultimate planning video. I've been making videos for 2 whole years now, and you can have a look back at the old days when I first started making videos where I was nervous, embarrassed and worried. And now look at me, nervous, embarrassed and worried. Anyway, like and subscribe if you like this sort of shenanigans. There'll be lots more of drawing and publishing to come. So grab your notebook and any other accoutrements you need to go with it, and join me looking at the night sky. I decided I would change things up a little bit by using some black paper to draw my moons on for this particular month. I haven't done this before, so it was a bit of a new thing for me, and it did make my bullet journal feel a bit thicker, which actually I didn't mind too much because the notebook that I'm using, this Rhodia dot book, is actually, the paper is really thin on it, so it wasn't, I didn't mind too much that I could thicken it up a little bit just for this month. So this is the title page, just written November, and because it has an O in it, I thought it'd be rude really not to just stick a moon in there, and then glue it on with my Quickie glue stick pen thingy, which is quite good but not great for large spaces. Using this jelly roll pen, I've used both a 08 and a 10 for doing these. I'm just going over the black, actually it's more like card, this particular piece, so it's quite thick and really takes ink very well. I'm just making some little dots for stars and some planets and a rocket. And I got this rather useful device for making circles a while back, so I've used it quite a few times, just tracking where the moon is going to be this month, because I thought, seeing as we're doing a sky theme, it would be quite nice to track what the moon's doing. And we start off on the 8th of November with that half moon. And then on the 15th of November we have a super new moon, and that means that the moon is very close to the Earth. It's the closest that it gets. This is represented by having new beginnings and renewing things, cleansing, purifying, that kind of thing, if you're into that sort of thing. I just kind of like looking up at the moon like it was this morning and wondering where all the cheese is. Then just on the other side of the paper I've got my overview of the month. Annoyingly, the first of the month is on a Sunday, so I'm having to slot an extra day in at the beginning and then an extra day at the end, because the last day of the month is a Monday. So these little boxes are 6x4 dots across. In previous months what I've done is I've listed down along the page, but I thought this month I'd just do some little boxes and write my events and things like that are coming up. And yes, I did miss a day out to begin with, so that was rather annoying. It's not the first time in this month that I've messed something up, so keep your beady eyes open and you might see the other one.
Then on to my key tasks page. And this is, I have sort of 4 main strands of things that I need to keep check on. That's the YouTube things, my book, work, anything to do with the Isle of Wight Story Festival, which is coming up in February, so not that far away now, and anything else that I need to do for work. So my bullet journal, I mainly, 2 strands really. I use a lot of it for planning my work, and then the other side of it is for just any kind of things I need to do, like doctor's appointments, that sort of thing. I did fill this in with a Crayola Super Tips Black to start with, and then I went over it with white, and you'll see what happens in it. And then on this page, I tried using that glue again, but it didn't. There wasn't enough glue coming out to use for that whole page, so I just used a glue stick in the end. And then the jelly roll going over, once the pen had dried, going over with the jelly roll to put key tasks in. But no matter how many times I went over that, even with a Posca pen, it still looked, when it dried out, really green. It just filled in, sucked up too much of the black colour. And because we are that time of year, I thought, I know, I'll make some stuff. Maybe I'll make some different kind of hand balms and that sort of thing. So I put down here spells, and you can see that the Jelly Roll pen covers that black paper so much better than going over the Crayola that I'd had on the other page. So in the end I ended up putting a black piece of paper over where I've written key tasks on the left there, and just going over it again with this white pen, and it worked much better. It was much more satisfying. Then keeping a track of my statistics for the month and seeing where it changes from October to November, and any extra work hours that I need to keep track of to invoice people. And on the opposing side there is my first weekly. I had to fit in that extra day, so I fitted in the Sunday as well as the rest of the week and ending on Sunday. So these ones are slightly more squished up. I've done them 1, 2, 3, 4 deep. And that box at the side there is for writing my dinner ideas in. And those of you with X-ray vision on can see, yes, I missed out another day. What is wrong with me? Then just to make it a bit more fun, I've just ripped off some bits of paper, black paper, and stuck them down in the corners and just drawn some more things with my Jelly Roll pen. I often wondered how it was that other people get on with Jelly Roll pens, because other people seem to be able to manage much better than I do, but I think for me it's all about drawing over the top of that black paper and not doing it over the top of pen. That's what I've figured. And there you go, that's with the black paper and going over it with the white pen. I'm sure there are other pens that work just as well, but I've been using Jelly Roll because I think they work quite well for me. I've got a Posca, but you know, I've tried other ones. In fact, I've got half a dozen different ones, but Jelly Roll is the best one for me. And here is a quick flick through of November.
Stick with me because next week I will be looking at where my story ideas come from. Until then, I hope you make something delicious to go in your journal. I'm off to stare at the sky like a loon. I'll see you next week. Nano nano!